and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Keith here from Cmon Hoops. If this is your first time coming across the channel, just below, like and subscribe would be really appreciated. Matt O'Reilly is moving closer to join Serie A side Atalanta, the Europa League winners, that were beaten last night by Real Madrid. I'm going to tell you the situation, what's going on. They did place a fifth bid today, as you've seen on the screen there. Anthony Joseph reported around half two today that it was knocked back 21.5 million with add-ons. Reportedly is meant to be around 24 million euros for Matt O'Reilly. The situation, what's going on, why this deal is slowing up and why they won't pay the money is because they're waiting to sell Koopmeiners, which is one of their key midfielders that helped them win the Europa League, the Dutch midfielder, to Juventus. On the screen you see right there, Fabrizio Romero tweeted around 2.5 hours ago, which is a deal around 60 million euros. So once they get that money for him, I can see Matt O'Reilly being snapped up. They'll go in with a sixth bid, and they will break the transfer record, the Scottish transfer record, which Celtic are holding off for 28 million pounds, which would be the equivalent of around 30 million euros. So hopefully this is done and dusted over the next couple of days. Personally, I don't want Matt O'Reilly to go. I've said this so many times in the channel, one of our key assets, but if the money comes in and the player's starting to feel unsettled, which he's been alright during pre-season, which he's been okay the last two games, with this speculation coming from elsewhere, it would wreck your head. It would wreck your head because he has a chance to go to a phenomenal league, play against top-class opposition like Inter Milan, AC Milan, Roma, Juve. He will be playing in the Champions League, and it could be a case you never know. He might play against Celtic again in the future. But it's a guy that we bought for a little to nothing from MK Dons, and we've made an absolute fortune. If Celtic sell him less than 25 million, we'll all be disappointed because we want to break that record if Jota and Kieran Tierney. So that's the situation regards Matt O'Reilly. Keep an eye over the next couple of days. As I said, I think with Koopmeiners going to Juventus, I think Atalanta will eventually get the finger out and put the extra 8 million that they need in the kitty with no add-ons, just 8 million quid straight out, and he'll end up going to Serie A. We've been linked with two other midfielders over the last 24 hours. Anthony Joseph did tweet yesterday that we're interested in Arne Engels from Augsburg in the Bundesliga, a 20-year-old Belgian midfielder, played 50 times since 2023 for the Bundesliga side that finished mid-table. This is a team that you don't expect big high valuations. They've only ever broken the 10 million transfer market in their history ever of selling players 4 times. So I can see if Matt O'Reilly goes, we'll get Arne Engels in. I think 20 years of age, hasn't been capped yet for Belgium at senior level. He was called up for the Belgian squad for the last Euros, and then he pulled out down to injury. So a lot of potential there. His stats is not the greatest regards to goals and assists, but playing that amount of games of football in Bundesliga just shows that there is a player there. I'm excited looking at the guy. I've seen videos of him, as we all do. We look and see what the best bits and the worst bits is. Working with Brendan, getting to that midfield, playing with beside Hatate, Paulo Bernardo, with regards to Callum McGregor, it can only get better and better, you know. So hopefully this will be a big move if Matt O'Reilly goes this weekend, so we can get contingency plan in place and get this Augsburg midfielder in, the Belgian midfielder. Regards to the speculation around Luke Mccowan, Luke Mccowan is Dundee FC's captain. 26 years of age. He helped Dundee get into the top 6 of the Premiership last season. His stats there is on the screen. He's played over 100 games in Scottish football. And this is a guy, I done a poll on Instagram earlier on, and 68% of people would welcome Luke Mccowan at Celtic. They think that he will be an absolute grab. They're looking for £1 million from him. I think I'd spend the 1 million quid on him. At the end of the day, Rangers paid for Adam fee. You know, the sale of other players this summer has covered the likes of Paulo Bernardo and Sinsalo. So I would go out, get Luke Mccowan. The only problem is with Luke Mccowan is where does he fit in the Celtic midfield? We have Paulo Bernardo that was brought in. We have Oldie Home. We have Awate. We have Rio Atarte. You know, Callum McGregor. Kwan's gone to Hibs on loan. Where does he fit? My suggestion would be if we send Ollie home the other way on loan for a season, a part of even 800 grand. I know Hibs have placed 3 different bids around 750,000. I was knocked back. So I welcome Luke McCown. I think he brings something different. I think he'd be that type of player that we could use in cup games, then after Champions League games. I think he could make a statement. And I am going to compare him. I think he would be like a Barry Robson at Celtic. I think he would flourish. Or he could be a Scott Allen. Just be an absolute flop. So let me know in the comments what you think. There's no other talk regard to a left back, Owen Beck and QPR. Looks like that's on the cards. That was the last reports of that. There's no reports on any more centre backs, but we do know that we're going to be losing Daniel Kelly. Millwall's manager confirmed yesterday that Daniel Kelly has signed a pre-contract with them and he's going to join them in January. So it's a loss for Celtic, it's a loss for the academy, but we move on. There's no point crying over spilt milk. So let me know your thoughts. Will Matt O'Reilly go for £28 million, or will it be a case Celtic will accept a lower fee? As I've said in the channel, we have rejected a 5th bid today, reportedly of €21.5 million for Matt O'Reilly. Let me know your thoughts.